Hello everyone, my name is Jay. Today we're going to look at the S.H.Figuarts Dragon Ball Z Cell First Form. Now before we start this video, I just want to say a big thank you for 5 subscribers. Woo! I know it's not a big deal to anyone, but to me it's a big deal because it shows that people are actually watching and liking these videos, so I appreciate it very much. And I'm sorry that this is probably going to be the last Dragon Ball Z figure review, and then we're gonna do a review on the S.H.Figuarts Indiana Jones, and then for a little bit I'm not gonna do some videos. Doesn't mean I'm gonna quit, it's just right now I don't have a lot of figures in my collection because I already reviewed them. And what else, it's gonna be a big surprise. I'm gonna do a review on the Mayfix Batman. It's gonna be a while because of course ordering and all that stuff and all that crap or whatnot, so of course it's okay. I'm still going to be here, and I'm glad that everyone's watching. I appreciate it very much. So, we're going to talk about the Cell First Form. Now, to me, this is an almost perfect figure. Pun intended. I know, it was bad, but god damn it. So, before we continue, we're going to look at the box. The box, as always, S.H.Figuarts. Of course, if you want to know if it's legit, we got that Tamashii Nations. Yeah, Tamashii, or, yeah, no, Funimation. Yeah, my bad, yeah. Toei Animation, my bad. I apologize. Toei Animation. And, of course, this little sticker. Oh, sorry. This little sticker right here. Shit, I was pointing at something else. Now, the box looks nice. Nice and simple. Shows you more things. And, other things. Here we go. And, of course, what I don't like, I got this on Amazon. Well, my mother did, because I actually had one for $60 and he broke. So he's a very sensitive figure, so I'm just want to let you know. And of course, shout out to my mother for getting me this new version, even though I didn't ask her, but she was wondering why I was a bit disappointed, and everyone else was wondering. And then it was this who broke off. And I mean it looks good, but of course you gotta love and respect your parents, all right? But anyways, the package shows different little items and different things, different poses. What I don't like about this, why are you gonna put a rock? Why are you gonna put a big boulder if you're not gonna put it in the figure? Don't do that. Let me repeat that. Don't do that. That's like clickbait. That's literally just clickbait right there. And of course, ooh, there's some dust. See, I was waiting for this video to do, but anyways, it's just, I hate that. I know that they have a rock accessory, which is so fucking stupid, but I'm not gonna get into that. So, I'm gonna put Cell to the side, and I'm gonna show you the packaging. I'm gonna show you the other accessories. Of course, I do have extra spares since I did have mine. First one broke off, and I had it for a good price. He was like $60, and he was used or whatever, and he was perfectly fine. And then I moved it, and I didn't know how sensitive he was gonna be. So yeah, I was really pissed off. So after we look at all the accessories, of course, we're gonna look at the figure itself. Ooh, okay, first row. Now we're gonna look. Oh, goddamn Butterfingers. We're gonna look at the first head sculpt. I actually want to move my light right here. So first, this is easily my favorite head sculpt. Well, faceplate, but this is easily my favorite faceplate or whatever. Nice. Okay, we gotta put that very close. Nice texture on the lips. Good little dots right there, because that's how his face look. All right. You could see his tongue, nice and red, nicely painted. He looks like he's mad because someone took his crack. He looks that pissed off. Of course, you could see his ears, which I never noticed that Cell had ears. And by the way, before we continue, tell me what's your favorite villain. Of course, we all like Frieza or Majin. I like Majin Buu. I know some people don't like him, but I'm a personal Majin Buu fan. He's a menace. Jesus Christ. And Cell, oh god, he's just funny. But this is just a nice sculpt. Of course, you can see where you could place it. Very nice. So of course, we're gonna move. Ooh, a bit dusty. All right. So of course, we're gonna put these around and switch those face plates and do some swapping and all that stuff. And of course, we got this one. This one, nicely sculpted. Nothing messed up. No damages. No nothing. Not really. Anytime, hold on. His eyes, I don't know if you could notice, but his eyes look a bit bloodshot. I don't know if y'all guys could tell, but when I got this figure, I was like, really? His eyes look, he looked high. He looks high, basically. He looks stoned. I don't know what the hell he was smoking, but his eyes are really red and just, Lord, it's just insane. I don't know if you could tell I'm a bit shaky. Oh, sorry. Ooh, apologize. And then some people say this was a waste of a sculpt, and I guess I could see what you mean. Now tell me the difference. What do you see between this sculpt? Of course, if you don't notice, it's okay, but his eyes are slightly to the left, if you could tell. Look. His eyes are just moved to the left, and of course, he looks like he's gonna do some shit. Of course, when you want some good, like, head tilt, it looks good. But I know people were complaining about, like, oh, this was a waste of head sculpt, blah, 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 blah. And me personally, I guess I get it, but I'm actually fine with this. I actually do like him with this head tilt, looking all menacing. So, very cool. And of course, we got his tails, but I'm gonna show that after we actually show Cell himself later. So we're gonna move on to the other accessories. So, I like how they have a little tray. It was just on the bottom. Ooh. Why is there? How the hell is hair got in this goddamn case? What? All right. I apologize. I don't know how the hell that's there. Okay. Now I'm going to take this off because this... Some people were also confused about these two. Now, I don't know if you could tell the difference, but that's okay. With this one, this is the regular, and as you could see, he doesn't look that mad. If you look closely, look how open his eyes still are. And then when you change these to this one, he looks a bit more angry. I don't know if you could tell. It's very, very subtle. I know some people were very confused about, like, oh, why did they throw the same thing? This and that, blah, 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 blah. No, ladies and gentlemen, it's just subtle. It's very, very subtle. So don't think you got ripped off or nothing, because they're just more different. This one's, like I said, a bit more open, while this one, he just looks a bit more mad. So, of course, I like to use this one to make him look more mad and menacing. Now, of course, we have... Hold on. We got 1, we got 2, 3, 4, and basically 5 pairs of hands. I'm counting the stock ones. Yes, I am. I'm not going to show both of them. I'm just going to show them one at a time, because of course that would be unnecessary to show 2 of them. You could just show 1 because they just look the same. But look at that. Nice texture. He feels good. Like, there's some matte finish, but he also has a gloss to him, which we will talk about, no worries. And it looks good. It looks nice. It looks crisp. No dirty paint jobs on this, basically, which I was very surprised about. And of course, we got another pair of his other hand, but it's just the same thing. And then we got these more I guess he's gonna choke you hands. You could probably choking hands, or he could just chase you. Well, there's other hands like that, but his fingers are just slightly just separated, but still just looks intimidating. I like that. I like how he has his little long claws or whatever. They're not claws, but you know, they look like it. They're just it's just his nails. But and then of course we have these hands. Yeah, these are the ones I probably use with him more, but all these hands, I just like messing with him. He's just fun to mess around. Oh, sorry. So, if you can look closely, you can see some texture, some little gratings or whatever. What's the word? I can't think of the word, but you can see some little textures right there. And of course, look at that. Nice green. Very, very good. What is this? Olive green with some normal green? I don't know. It looks light green, a bit dark green, and then, of course, yeah, those are just black dots. They're just black. I would say they're like really, really dark green, but no. So we're gonna move those to the side. And of course, we got his open palm hands. And of course, look at that. Looks nice. Very good, very simple. Now his fingers are just more separated. And of course, if you want him just on a little action pose with his hands just standing on the ground, yes, you could do that. But I just gotta let you know, sometimes it's very, very difficult to move him. So if you get this copy, because of course, like I do in all of my reviews, ladies and gentlemen, I like to give my honest opinion. Because I know sometimes people just take sponsorships and then they just be like, oh, this is a 10 out of 10. Even though, no, there's always a problem with figures, no matter what. Of course, we wish there could be a perfect figure, but of course, there's always problems. Now, as we continue on, we do have, oh, geez, I'm gonna have to move this, hold on. We have his tail and his other little separate piece. I'm gonna move this to the side. Now, of course, hold on. I have to move everything. Because there's gonna be a lot of things to do with this figure. But, of course, we got his tail. Nicely sculpted, looks very well done. Actually, never mind, I'm gonna put this back. Looks very well sculpted. I don't know if you could see closely, but you could see some textures right there. Look at that. You could see some little engravings or whatever word I'm trying to think of, but y'all guys know what I'm trying to say. There's some texture, and it feels nice. It's not even printed. It's just like you could actually feel some texture. I thought it was just gonna be printed on, but no, like they actually like engrave or whatever on each dots. Of course, we have his normal tail. Very nice, not bad. I mainly pose him with this, and of course we're gonna talk about his other tail. His little vacuum sucker. Look at this. Of course, what's the Android? It's not Android 18. It's Android 17. Oh my god, that shit was so funny. I know it's supposed to be taken serious, but the depiction and how they do it, oh, it's very funny. Of course, you can see this is very nice and smooth. Of course, well, if you could look closely, you could see some little like carvings, some little lines right there. So that's very nice. And then inside of it, of course, you see a big black hole, and then of course you see some little carvings in there. So very good, very good. Of course, like I said, I'm gonna have my own opinions with this figure. Now, we could move these, and of course, if you look closely, his wings have a little joint, so you could move them. See, so they're very, very tiny. I know some people had problems with their cell figure, and I thought I wasn't gonna get problems, but I do have my problems with this. Even the first cell figure, oh my god. Of course, I wish I could get perfect cell, but goddamn, he's expensive. And I know they're gonna do a reissue of Cell. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do, but yes, they're gonna do a reissue. And of course, I'm not gonna get that. So for starters, I don't know if you could tell, but his legs are kind of loose. Now, I had him posed up, just standing, because I was gonna wait to do this video, and he just fell. Look, see? There you go, right on camera. There you go. He just fell. Even though he could stand perfectly, but randomly, just out of nowhere, the goddamn wind inside my room just, a little fart dust cloud just hit him. And I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Like, the more I was moving him, it was just, so that's my negativity. So like I said, to me, he looks perfect, but as soon as you, like, move him around, of course, we're gonna look at his normal faceplate. God damn, look at that chrome dome. God damn. Damn, son, look at that big ass chrome dome. Of course, this is just him. It looks like you can't see his mouth, but it's very subtle. When I mean subtle, not really. Because each of these lines, you could just say, oh, where's his mouth? Like, any of these little pieces, these little lines, you would think, oh, maybe he could open his mouth here or there. No, it just looks invisible. I feel like he would, right here, that's where he could open his mouth. I guess, I don't know, that's unimportant, but His eyes still bloodshot. Lord have mercy. I do not remember that in the anime. Because there's sometimes Dragon Ball Z could get a bit repetitive. Like, it could be fun, but there's times where they're like, oh my god, what's gonna happen to Goku? Is he gonna save the people? Is he gonna save his friend? And it's like a 20 or even 40 minutes of each episode. It's like 20 minutes, and it drags on and on. It's still not a bad show, but I do have my problems with that show. So, of course, like I said, there's going to be good things and bad things. So, we're going to talk about articulation. Head-wise, he could look up very, very well. Then he could look down very well. Of course, if you do want to just watch. There you go. I did this earlier, so that's okay. But now he's just right. Literally, he just connects. I'm pretty sure he connects right here, but of course, you have the top part covering it. And of course, there's a little hole right there. And then there's the joints. There's the joints right there. So he just feels he's just very, very fragile. I don't like that. I thought he was gonna be very, very well, like, not messed up, very hard pause, very stiff, wait, pause, very not loose or whatever, and not feeling all wonky. So yeah, head, pretty good, and down is pretty good. Of course, side to side, that's very well articulated. And now, of course, like I showed in the back, I will put his toe on later, but not right now, because it's just going to get in the way of articulations. If you could tell, it looks crooked. Oh, well, never mind. Sometimes it looks crooked, and I just think I'm tripping. Look, see, this fucker just wants to. So anytime you pose him, you really got to have him not even stand like this. You got to have his legs, like, leaning like that, and then there you go. It feels so weird. It feels like he's gonna do that shit that Michael Jackson does, where he leans in and he does that crap. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So, of course, we got some. Actually, I'm gonna move these wings because it's also gonna get in the way. I should have just done that. But so now spread them. Can't speak for shit. Spread his arms. Of course, very good. Also, a little butterfly, little armpit joints or whatever they call them. I apologize. Sometimes doing these videos too much, you would just forget about so many joints. I always just forget about the joints and their names and all that stuff. What, you think I know stuff? I'm a figure review. Come on, guys. No. Anyways, and of course, this is not going to be a problem because, look, you could just move it. You could also take this off, but I wouldn't recommend it. If you look closely, it's on this little tiny peg. Wait. On this little tiny peg right there. And I always just be afraid that it's going to snap off. I always, don't get me wrong, I love these figures. They're great, but it's just, I always get afraid of breaking them because how sensitive they are. Literally, I posed him up with his legs up and then he broke. And I was just disappointed. Of course, so like I said, you can move that, and then of course you could still get some good articulation right there. Of course, oh, hold on, I want to move this. This could be, it feels stiff. So look, there you go. You can move them. You could have a little swivel right there. So very nice. Double jointed. Very good. Very nice. And of course, as always, with their articulations. If you hear anything in the background, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. But anyways, you could just move his little joints like that, and now he could just move it like this. Even though I don't know why you do that, I just like to have them. There you go. Move them like this. And like that. See, now you could have them like that. See? So, of course, now we're going to talk about the body. Of course, you get a good, I would say a good spin, but never mind. I do not want to force myself on spinning it. I feel like he's just going to break off. So, spin. Of course, you could do a little rock to the side. And of course, pick up his legs. So, since he has these big-ass little... They remind me of RoboCop's legs. Remember how his thighs just look like this? Yeah. So, what you could do is turn them. I just get so afraid again. I just get so worried because I do not want to break this figure. Very sensitive. Ain't good. Well, can't really kick, so that's not good. Back kick, not good. Not good. So, kick forward, not good. Back kick, not good. Of course, on the back, if you can look closely, double jointed. That's very good. See, that's good. That's pretty good. And of course, a little swivel on the legs. There we go. Okay, so now we're gonna change his face plates. So, like I said, notice this part. Notice that. Just notice. Because then we're gonna switch this one where he has his eyebrows a bit mad. Oh, look at little Cell. He's mad because he couldn't suck up Gohan and steal his goddamn power. Oh, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. Anyways, Cell is just a funny character in general. I like all the villains in Dragon Ball. Well, some are forgettable, but of course, Majin Buu, Cell, Frieza, they're all menace, and I love them. I love them. And of course, you could see that he looks a bit more mad. Okay, I don't know if you could tell. Me, I could tell, but of course, some of my viewers, if y'all guys can't tell, it's okay. No worries. So, yeah. Let's say switch him out, because I know damn well. Yeah, hold on. Before I continue. So, look at this middle part right there. Look at that middle part. Notice how it's not like, what's the word? More a bit stretched. And then you see this one. It looks a bit more stretched. See? You can see more shape to it. He looks... So, yeah, there you go. Hope y'all guys could tell the difference. So I'm just gonna leave the normal one to the side, and then I like to have him very angry because of course we're gonna pose him around. And now we're gonna switch the face plate. I mean, and now let's do this one. Yeah, we're gonna have him all mad and crap. There we go. Now he looks more angry, more frustrated. Well, no, he just looks like he's laughing because he knows he's gonna fuck everyone up, and then afterwards just get kicked in the ground or whatnot. It's also so weird how he died and he went to heaven. I find that very funny, but also stupid, because Frieza goes to heaven, and I'm like, what? What? He killed the whole Namek race, and I'm like, okay, whatever. Okay, what? All right. Not the whole race, but you know, he did kill like the village in that one scene with Dodora, or who's that other goddamn guy with the green hair? Whatever. Yeah. But of course, not bad. I don't know. Hold on. I was gonna say you could move them up and down. Never mind. I apologize. So there we go. Looks more menacing. Of course, if you could look closely, he's doing a little side eye. So, of course, when you have him in a side eye, he looks very menacing. Very menacing. And now, we're going to do his other faceplate, my favorite faceplate out of the whole set. And now, we're going to have him like this. And now, like that. Now he's mad because he just lost to a little 12-year-old. Yeah, Gohan was he 12? Yeah, he was 12 when he went like Super Saiyan 2 or whatever. I can't remember, but I know he kicked ass. And, yeah, never mind. I'm not going to switch it. I like this faceplate. And now, we're going to talk about the toes. Of course, you could see his little booty hole right there. And now, there's articulations on the tail. There's little ball joints or whatever you want to call them. And now you stick it inside the tail. I'm gonna sometimes it moves. The little ball joint or whatever moves. So of course now it's on. And now what I'm gonna do is put his other toe like that. And now there you go. There you go. I know some people were getting mad about like, oh my god, I hate how ugly those look. I'm like, no, I don't care. I'd rather have good articulations for the toe than having just a stiff plastic or whatever. Like, no. Like, if you see here, you could have it just lay flat on the ground. I don't know if you can see that. And now we're going to change it with the, with the other. Now, there you go. This toe is too big. I hope you guys could see it. All right, there we go. So there you go. It looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Not bad. It's just something I don't really pose up with the cell. And oh yeah, before we also continue, if you look closely, you could also just switch it. You could just switch it. It's like with the hands. You could just switch it around. Whatever pose you want to get, you'll get it. So there we go. Looks nice. So now we're gonna put his wings on and then have that nice cell look. Me personally, I don't know if y'all like Cell's first form. I love it. I love Cell's first form, and it looks very cool. He looks like an insect. And now we're gonna talk about the paint job. So the paint job looks really, it looks really, really nice. I know some people, like I said, because I do watch some videos, but then I just skip half of the videos. Y'all probably do the same with mine, but that's okay. And I was a bit iffy if I wanted to get it. But when I got it, I was happy, but then I was disappointed because how loose these legs could be and how sensitive he is. So he's nice. He's very shiny. I know people were complaining about that, but I'm like, I don't care. He's an android. Of course he's gonna be shiny. Of course in Dragon Ball Z, they do some good details on like the shading. I know sometimes they'll have them looking very shiny at some points, and it's crisp. It looks good. And as you could see closely, he's shiny in some parts and matted on some parts. So the light green spots, he's just matted, or yeah, he's a bit matted. And then the black parts, he's a bit matted, except for this part on the head, a little speck of dust or whatever. All right. And then he's very kind of shiny. Of course, some of the parts, not the wings, they're not shiny, but his shoulders, his chest, this little black thing, and this other thing. Of course, his toes are a bit shiny. They're very nice, very well. But yeah, he's an android, so yes, I'm glad that he looks like this. Oh, there we go. There we go. He wants to fall. He wants to fall. There you go. Now I'm gonna have him. He just annoys me because when you have him standing, like, hold on, stand still. Sometimes his leg would just move to the back. Hold on. Look. You see that? Look at that. I'm gonna show you again. Of course, I have him stand like that. It's just sometimes his leg would just slightly just move to the side or the other leg, and it's just, it's disgusting. It's ugly. It's disgusting. Like I said, it's very ugly, very disgusting. No figures should have loose legs. But anyways, the color scheme is very nice. You have some dark green. He has some olive green, I guess. He has some black. He has some blues. He has some orange. He has a very nice color scheme that I always liked. And now we're gonna look at the hands because this video is still continuing on. And now I'm probably just gonna pop one hand and show the difference. So we have a little, oh, there we go. Yeah. So we have him with his little open palm. Well, not even palm, open palms. It's just relaxing hands. It looks very good. Now we're going to switch this hand. And then we're not even going to put the same ones. We're just going to put different ones because I just want to show y'all guys real quick. And now we have his open palm hands. There we go. All right. Now, like I said, we're going to switch this hand. And then afterwards, we're going to put his slightly separate finger gripping hands to side. Very nice. Now the other hand, of course, we're going to do the same thing. And have that, yeah, there we go, his other gripping hand. I apologize if he's moving around too much, like I said. Oh, there we go. Wait a minute. There we go. I need to get this on camera. Hold on. God damn it. Son of a bitch. Anytime, like, see, he was standing. Look, see, I don't know if you could, did you see that? Did you see that? Ugh, that's ugly. That's disgusting. I'm feeling so much anger right now that I'm trying to keep inside. Like with that McFarlane video, I did not keep it. I just went all blast on it. I hate McFarlane toys. I don't know what people see in those figures, but I guess because they're fucking cheap and ugly, but whatever. I know people have their own opinions, and that's fine, but me personally, I hate them. I'm talking about the figures, of course, not people who buy them, but anyways. I think Mayfix, S.H.Figuarts, NECA, Mezco, those are figures that I recommend you getting. Because, like I said, quality over quantity. And half the time, they don't get you, like, good hands. But we're not here to crap on McFarlane toys. Now, he's very nice, very nice. So, we're going to try to pose him up. I'm going to try to have him in, see, this was the leg that broke off with my original one. So, like I said, little swivel. You got to be, so careful. All right. Now, I'm going to have him like this. Okay. I'm going to have the other one like that. All right, so there we go. And now, since he has such long arms and this good little butterfly joint right there, you could have him in, hold on. I was going to do this earlier, but screw it. Now we're on articulations and posing wise. But anyways, so as you can see here, you gotta, wait, I'm gonna move everything. That, of course. There you go. Now, he's in action pose. He looks nice. He looks very, very nice. It's just, he's just a very sensitive figure. And I would recommend be careful with him. So, you could just see how my hands are shaking because I don't want him to break. Ugh. Now, he looks very cool, very badass, very glorious. And now, and you could hear those, like, those squeaky noises. Ugh. Disgusting. So, of course, as a figure for sale. So, I don't know. Like I said, I know that they are going to do a re-release. I found out like a couple weeks ago because it was on Instagram. Because I know they're going to do a re-release of the Saiyan saga of Goku. And I know they're going to do a reissue of him in October. I don't know what they're going to do with him. What, they're going to put the fucking rock with him? Oh, wow. You should have done it in the first place. Now, we're going to do some some height differences. So, with Cell and Trunks, since Trunks does go back in time and all that crap, he looks very good with Cell. There's going to be a problem with his height because you think he's so tall. Ooh, just wait. And now we're going to do Vegeta. Look at this little tiny man. Of course, I kind of have him a bit lean. Oh, never mind. There we go. He's very, very short. He's like the Wolverine of anime. And now we have Goku. Now this is where we're gonna get some problems, alright? So Goku, he stands like very well, I guess, but like with his hair, it just makes him look very, very tall. Including with this little pointy top. Look at that, with this little pointy top right there. Anyways, and then the big one that kind of like annoyed me. So you could see the obvious. Cell is supposed to be way taller than Piccolo, because Piccolo, he kind of towers over him. Not kind of towers over him. It's just like, well, if you count like his little things or whatever, yeah, he towers over him. But like face wise, it looks like he's looking at his mouth. If you look closely, it looks like he's looking at his mouth, and it looks like Piccolo is complaining about his big ass head. But yeah, I wish they made him a bit more taller, because I know they, what's his name? Is it King Cold? Yeah, Frieza's father. They made him tall and big, and that's how he's supposed to be. And they made other figures a bit taller and big. I don't know what they were doing with Cell. Don't get me wrong. Sculpt-wise, accessory-wise, color-wise, he looks very good. He looks beautiful. He looks fantastic. But I don't know why they made him, like, short. Like, there's a scene where he goes in the city, and Piccolo's like, look, he's supposed to be like this tall. He's supposed to be like about this freaking tall. He's supposed to be towering over everyone. Or maybe I'm a bit off with the inches. But I know he's supposed to be this tall. And I don't know what they were doing with the height. It really bothered me when I noticed. But yeah, when he's standing next to Trunks, he looks way taller, but ooh, when you bring out Piccolo, no way, no way. So what will I rank this figure? Well, you do get three different face plates. You get 5 pairs of hands. Yes, I'm counting the stock ones as well. I'm counting those too. You also get his little vacuum sucker or whatever. You do get this other little head. This is the one, like I said, the one I switched out where he looks more angrier. Like I said, very subtle. So this is the original one, and this is the one that came with the other accessories. So you get 2 of these, which is pretty good. But it's just the articulation. For me, it's since it's my figure, it's just his legs are like wonky, and I don't like that. It looks very, it feels disgusting. It feels ugly. Like, to me, in my eyes as a collector, oh, this is like a 10 out of 10. But since I do have some issues, it gets an 8.5. It's not the worst thing, and anything below a 7, not good. Okay, that's how my ranking is. Anything below a 7, not good. So he's an 8.5 to me. I was gonna say 7.5, but he is still fun to pose around. Like, see, pick his legs up, like that. And there you go. And also, you do get his tail, which, I mean, of course you expect that with him, but I thought it was gonna like be with him, but no, it's separated in the box. But look, you do get some good articulations. It's just he's a very sensitive figure, so that's why he's not gonna get an 8. That's why he's not gonna get a 10. I mean, well, he is getting an 8. He did just get an 8, but that's why he's not getting a 9 or a 10. Check out my perfect form. It's almost perfect. Sorry for that bad impression. It's just funny doing impressions of Dragon Ball Z characters. Oh. Anyways, so like I said, this is an 8.5 for me. I wish his legs were a bit better. Of course, you do get some stopping because of this thighs, which, like I said, it's not bad. That's how he looks like in the anime, so that's fine. All right, I like my little accuracy. And like I said, so the problem is loose legs. Well, they're not loose, but sometimes, well, they are loose, but when you have him standing like a Michael Jackson stand, like look, if you have him stand like this, it looks weird. Now if you stand him like this, I don't know, did you just see that? Hold on. His legs just slide. Anytime you just gently move him, his legs just want to move. It's very subtle. I don't know if y'all guys can notice, but I hope y'all do. But so he gets good paint jobs, good accessories, good sculpt. So those are the good things. But the bad things, because there's always bad things. Height and legs. And that's about it. So, yeah, that's why he gets an 8.5. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you do like this video, please subscribe. Or if you are watching this, that means a lot to me. It just shows that y'all guys are supporting. So, I appreciate it very much. But, I'm not going to get the reissue. I don't give a shit. It's probably going to be the same thing, but just very subtle. So, yeah, he gets an 8.5. So, if you do want to get this figure, I recommend it. Or if you want to wait for the re-release, because I know he's going to be like $60, I'm pretty sure, if I can remember. This one is like $80 or $90 on Amazon, which is insane. They always bump up the prices because later on these figures get rare. But ladies and gentlemen, if you do like this video, please like and subscribe. And like I said, I'm happy that y'all guys are watching. And wherever y'all are around the world, I hope y'all guys are having a good day, a good night, a good morning. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. And I hope y'all guys enjoy this video. Thank you.